Okay. So originally I was going to do a much more edited, more thorough video, maybe even a little bit more recorded footage. But as some of you might already know, I also work on a World of Warcraft add-on called Deadly Boss Mods as my primary work, and all this side stuff with streaming and YouTubing has been more secondary, and now there's a net in my face. That might buzz around a little bit. Anyway, the time I had to work on this went from several days to just a couple hours, so I'm basically just going to YOLO it at this point. So it's going to be disorganized, fragmented, and basically more of a rant than an organized theory craft video, so sorry about that. But I do have footage to still work with and theories to show. But first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go right into at least showing, starting with the footage. Well, I'm going to preface this now with if you don't want spoilers for Final Fantasy OG, Remake, or Rebirth, this is not the video for you. This video is going to be full of spoilers, showing the ending, discussing theories about what the next game will have, etc, etc. So if that's not what you're here for, then definitely bounce out now. Anyway, I'm going to hop right into screen and my videos I have set up so far. And hopefully it still has a timestamps, but I'm just gonna go right in with the OG first, which is this one. And we're gonna go right into Aerith's praying scene. Ah yes, the janky stairs. Don't mind that idiot right there. And when I say OG, it's been heavily modded with voice acting and updated graphics because obviously it makes a better experience. If you've been watching my playthrough so far, then you already know that, but if you come here by the algorithm just to see the theory crafting video, that's why you're going to be like, wait, why are they talking? Why are the graphics so good? This doesn't look like 1997. But yeah. The lighting mod is doing some work.
Cloud!
Cloud! Don't!
What are you making me do?
I used to think these graphics were cutting edge back then.
Aerith? This can't be real.
Do not fear. She will soon be part of the planet's energy. This little diversion is at an end. All that remains is to head north. The promised land awaits me over snowy fields. There, I shall be born anew, by becoming one with the planet. Hence, the girl shall become one with...
The cycle of nature and your stupid plan don't mean a thing. Aerith is gone. Aerith will no longer talk. Will no longer laugh, cry, or get angry. What about us? What are we supposed to do? What about our pain? My fingers are trembling. My mouth is dry. My eyes are burning.
What are you trying to say? That you have feelings?
Of course I do!
Spare me your grief. And you needn't pretend that you're shaking with anger either. Because, Cloud, you are.
No limit breaks like Rebirth. Couldn't remember if the original did that or not. I guess not. It's worth knowing that the whole speech he made there to Sephiroth, I think he made that speech in Rebirth too, but we didn't hear it. Because of all the flashes. We'll talk about that. There'll be a lot to talk about there when I make that separate video.
Because you are an empty puppet.
I'm a puppet.
He's supposed to be touching Cloud's shoulder there, but again, the models didn't line up with the replaced models. So it looked like he was just aiming the gun at the sky for some reason. He's supposed to be trying to comfort Cloud there, for context.
Everyone, listen.
And this conversation's pretty much going past Rebirth, so I'm not really going to play it much, because it's basically continuing beyond that point, and Rebirth doesn't. Not really. So let's stop that. see.
I'll be damned. It's like we're back on the expressway.
Aerith! How are we supposed to get through?
Shouldn't be too hard. Just gotta say the magic words. Daddy's coming home real soon, honey.
No thanks. I'm good.
Aerith.
Aerith.
Aerith!
Aerith!
Cloud! Now!
She needs you. Go.
Mm-hmm. Remember, in the original, he's the one that tried to kill her. This place. Now, it's worth noting that up until this point, I should have actually backed the video a little further up, but I'll talk about it. Up to this point, you were actually fighting both the black wisps and the white ones. And I think there's a very important context to that. You see, at this point, Aerith already knows her destiny and has accepted it. And I don't think it was just Sephiroth trying to slow the group down. I think it was both of them. I think from the very start, both of them have had machinations going on, but not our Aerith, at least not up until this point. See, one of the big theories is, well, I don't know if it's everyone's theory, but a theory I firmly believe in is that the OG Aerith and the OG Sephiroth are basically the ones controlling the dark and white wisps. I specifically say OG Aerith because we already know it's not our Aerith in Rebirth. In fact, she was pretty much stopped in Remake. If you go back to the Shinra building, she was about to tell us stuff that, like, we're not supposed to know yet. At that point, the OG Fates took her memories. They fragmented her so she couldn't remember any of that knowledge that she was about to share. That knowledge that she had access to. Because they wanted to hollow her out so she couldn't change the destiny of this world from the destiny the OG world had. And she's been hollow pretty much all of Rebirth too. Like, she's been hollowed out until I think she started having contact with the life stream and started gaining some of her knowledge back over time, and then she got all of it back after the temple and the black materia because her and Cloud actually dived into the life stream and crossed universes and stuff, and at that point she was reconnecting with her other selves' knowledge and getting it all back. But anyway, the main point here is the white and black ghosts were both trying to stop them up until Aerith knew it was okay for Cloud to come in, and she let him and only him in. Oh my. I know this room. I thought this was a full-length dungeon like it was in an OG, not after sending Cloud alone. They probably truncated that part. Maybe I'm wrong. It is pretty big looking. Oh, biggest perception. Make sure your party is prepared? I'm just Cloud. Interesting. I was 17 hours into a stream at this point recording this. That I could barely even see straight, so it took me forever to read that screen. How's my... Oh, he's weakened. He needs to heal up. Chapter 14, the end of the world. Yeah. Sorry I'm taking so long to walk over there, but like... VLC fast forwarding is fickle, and I don't want to fuck with it.
O planet and its faithful stewards, please, lend me your strength. I know I'm doing this wrong.
Black ones just showed up.
Taught me how to pray, and as the last living Cetra, I may never learn. All I want is one thing. To keep the others safe.
Then again, notice here,
So much to
they're both keeping me back.
So please, tell me how to do that. I'm begging you.
I was a little too early. Sephiroth is still trying to make him do it. Just like the OG. Button mashing. Gotta love it. This is fatiguing. Rush the party. High fidelity.
Aerith!
Don't weep. Your tears are empty. Just like you.
Cloud.
Now, it's worth noting up until that point, you can only hear Sephiroth, which is pretty much similar to what he said in the OG, but every one of Cloud's words are muted, and I think that's the speech that we heard him say in the OG, that in this we were denied because this Cloud is in denial.
It's okay.
Aerith.
I'll kill you!
Aerith!
And so it begins. A confluence of worlds and emotions. Loss, chief among them. It engulfs fleeting moments of joy, transforming them into rage, sadness, hatred. Never have I felt them so keenly.
I got this.
Now, it's clear at this point he does see the real Aerith, but he sees the dead one. Like, or the live stream Aerith, the one that controls the White Whispers, is what he sees. And he hasn't accepted the fact that his Aerith is dead. And I don't think he actually deflected Sephiroth's sword at all. I think that's copium and manipulations. Like, the theory I have on this mostly is, like, people have two theories, that there are two Aeriths, a living one and a dead one. And I think it's two dead Aeriths. Just two different dead Aeriths. And, one of them is just kind of, like, trying to guide him. But then he also has another problem, which I'll explain later after this. And that's that, the Aerith he starts seeing after the fight is not Aerith at all. It's Genova, or I'm calling her Genovith, and I'll explain more on that in a bit. But like basically two different theories people have that there's no living Aerith, there's just Genova, and other people are saying no, there's a living Aerith in another universe. I think it's a mix of both. There is another Aerith, but it's just the dead OG one, and then it's Genovith. Anyways, let's continue into the battle. I'll try to skip through the battle though, because it's not short like it is in the OG where I leveled to 99.
However, you'll never see the truth with such clouded eyes.
And I think that line is extremely important. He can't see the truth. Like, he thinks he deflected the sword. He didn't. Just like, from this point on, he doesn't see the same thing the rest of the group sees. Like, the rest of the group sees a bloodied Aerith on the ground with her eyes closed, and Cloud sees Aerith alive and looking at him. Now, granted, I think part of that is true. Like, you see the White Whispers going around, and that's a sign that the OG Aerith is partly there. But like, that's all he's seeing. He's fixating on that and not letting himself see the other truth.
Shut up!
After all, you're just a puppet.
And this is important too. I wanted to wait till he said it to talk about it. Sephiroth calls him a puppet in Rebirth, but in the OG, Sephiroth says, "You are just..." But then he doesn't finish the line. Genova does afterwards. And after Genova says it to him, Cloud starts questioning it. Like, I'm a puppet? But this Cloud isn't questioning himself yet.
Heads up.
And I'll be honest, I didn't notice that everyone but Cloud entered with a limit break ready to go. Until like, much later in the fight. Like, I should have been using these limit breaks right away. And I made the fight take longer than it needed to, because like I said, I was on a 17-hour stream, and yeah, I was barely coherent. I was all like, I'm gonna beat the game before I end stream. Like, the Temple of the Ancients won't be that long. Yeah, it was that long. Anyways, I will try to fast forward to the fight a little bit. We don't need this fight.
Ready? Ready? Gotta be careful.
There we go.
What now?
And OG Aerith is behind this too. I think she's been Zack trying to break out of his timeline.
As far as the eye can see.
Hey, anybody there?
Sephiroth tossed him in here, by the way, at the church. I should actually play the videos. I should have played other segments first. But Sephiroth tossed him in here. But Aerith is the one that gets him out. So he can help.
How about that? Well, nice to see you too. So, I hear you've been pretty busy. Go! Zack? How's about we save the catching up for later?
Mm-hmm. This was almost a fan service.
Sephiroth!
I don't think I'm not gonna include most of this fight. Not from a discussion standpoint. About thunder. I want to go back to that. Where's the Zack part? It was.
Damn it!
That's right. During the fight, Zack got tossed back to another universe again. Which one specifically, we don't know. One that's ending, obviously.
Aerith?
Aerith keeps intervening, though. She keeps saving him.
What in the hell is going on?
And at this point, even though him and Cloud are both fighting the same target, they're in different universes, which is why it's important to note that I think all the Sephiroths are already unified. There is one Sephiroth that exists across all realities, and I think that includes the OG Sephiroth, which is very important. You see, at the end of OG, both OG Aerith and OG Sephiroth are in the live stream. You even see that in the final ending of the game. You know, he's tossed into the live stream again when he's defeated again. And Aerith is in the live stream, and you know, Holy goes up and stops the meteor and yada yada. But at that point, they're both in the live stream. So in Rebirth and Remake, when the realities are connecting and stuff, well, I'll backtrack a little bit. We know in Rebirth and with OG that Sephiroth did die in Nibelheim. He did die. And I think at that point, he wasn't unified yet. At least not this Sephiroth. He was separate. When he died, he went to the live stream, and guess who else was in the live stream? And the only thing we've learned that is there is only one live stream. All the live streams, the planet, all the universes come from one planet and one live stream. Existing upon one another. You know, basically they're kind of going with that, like, you know, Final Fantasy 14 shit. But there's one live stream, so when you die, you become unified with your other selves. And I think that's why Sephiroth gains so much knowledge. And there's a video in I'm gonna show in OG too, where Sephiroth has a big rant about how even in the OG, he rants about how much knowledge he gained from the live stream. So basically, there's one Sephiroth. That's why they're fighting him across multiple dimensions. But Aerith is still... we've seen the problem with why Aerith is so far behind Sephiroth is because she's still fragmented. She's not unified like he is, where he has the collective knowledge of all his selves. And I think that's why she's accepted her death in every universe. Like, she wanted to die here. She wanted to die in a Terrier universe, or whatever the universe they were in for when her and Cloud were on that little dreamscape thing. And she patented a working Holy to him because she knew the Holy that Beagle universe had was broken, because the OG Whispers broke that Aerith and her Holy. And she wanted to restore that Aerith because she's the one who had to do the praying. Because only one Aerith has to stop Sephiroth, so I think the Aeriths were kind of working in... or the Aeriths and the Knowing were working in tandem to help the Beagle Universe Aerith. Ironically, the one that knows very at the least, because the OG ghost sapped her mind. But I think when she died, she got access to the other Aerith's knowledge. Like, as they all die, they're unifying. I think her unification requires her death. I think she has to die in all universes to stop Sephiroth, because she has to unify with her other selves. So she's just as formidable as he is. And I think we begin to see that upcoming here.
Embrace your dreams.
From a lore standpoint, we don't need this battle. Here. This is what we need.
You gotta be kidding me! He still ain't dead?
There you are.
Sephiroth!
Ah, no, Missy. Bad cat aggro. You'll even see it in the video. Sorry about that. Now notice this Aerith has complete control of the White Whispers. I think this is OG Aerith right here. Facing off against OG Sephiroth, more or less. Well, basically, unified Sephiroth. So I think OG started it all.
Let's end this. Together.
Which universe are you from? Are you my Aerith? No.
I must admit, I underestimated you.
Gee, Sephiroth knows what's going on. I think he knows who he's up against. I think OG Aerith is just finishing, or still trying to finish what she started, because what we're learning from these Remake and Rebirth is that things didn't end in the OG. Remake and Rebirth are not actually remakes. They are sequels. And we're learning that this fight that's happening between Sephiroth and Aerith is a fight that's been happening since the ending of OG. That's my firm belief here. And this Aerith just walked out is probably the combined Aeriths that have died, at least so far. If not all of them at this point. At this point, she might be unified. It's hard to say. That's okay, Sephiroth. I underestimate her all the time.
I saw what you did back there, Cloud. Thank you.
She saw because she was observing. And that's why she was there, and she's the one that smiled back at him briefly. I think that's the only time that Cloud's wasn't hallucinating.
Thank me later. This ain't over.
Right. Okay, let's finish this.
This is real Aerith.
Let's go.
And I'm pretty sure we're fighting in the...
I got you.
Is any of it real?
Get him!
Or is it all just a fever dream?
Don't even bother. That shit won't work on me.
Let's end this, Cloud.
All right. Ready?
Okay.
Where they're fighting right now, I think they are fighting at the edge of creation, or at some part in the live stream or whatever, which is why this Aerith can even be here. The Sephiroth is interesting. You see, Sephiroth is unified in death too. I think it's important to mention that. Just like Aerith has to die to be unified, Sephiroth is also dead. He died at the Nibelheim, and he hasn't been resurrected yet. I think he plans to be resurrected with Genova and Unification of Worlds. He plans to be resurrected. But this Sephiroth is very much dead. And the only reason he's able to interact with the physical reality we know is because of all the Genova-celled clones. Every time Sephiroth has manifested amongst the living, he was not in his own body, he was borrowing a body of Hojo's creation. His puppets. So, this is very much dead versus dead here. And that's a very important factor. Unification comes in death. You gain knowledge of the life stream, and you get the knowledge of all your other selves from all the other parallel universes that now exist. And I'm pretty sure, you know, Sephiroth's been fighting his fate since the OG, you know. He died, he lost to Aerith, and they're both in the life stream. But somehow, a plan got concocted when Sephiroth died in Beagle Universe and came in contact with his other dead self, and is like, hey, you know, shit went down and I lost, and here's all my knowledge, and we're gonna like change fate. But first we gotta convince these idiots to get the plot ghosts out of the way. You know, the plant that's trying to keep the Beagle universe in line. You know, keep all the timelines the same. And Sephiroth convinces these idiots to defeat fate so he can enact his machinations of changing his fate And then OG Aerith is like, oh no you don't, bitch. I have machinations of my own, and she took over the weapons and the White Wisps. Basically, there were no White and Black Wisps controlled by Sephiroth and Aerith at the start. It was just the OG Wisps. But then both of them hijacked a portion of them somehow at the end of Remake.
Defy me.
Anyways, you don't need to watch this fight. Phase change? Okay, that's it.
Why is he laughing?
Because he knows this isn't over.
And of course, she's commanding the White Wisps to send him back.
Ready? Everybody's waiting.
And notice very carefully her orbs and colors here. This is live stream. This is Dead Aerith commanding them. But more emphasis on the appearance. You see the exact orbs and the exact coloring around the OG Aerith when she's in the live stream. This is without a doubt OG Aerith in my mind. Well, technically it's all Aeriths. It's Unified Aerith. I gotta give her a nickname. Aerith sent Cloud back. But now she's still gotta take care of Zack.
We got him.
At least one of the Zacks. For whatever reason, like, even Unified Aerith doesn't have the power to save all worlds. Like, this world is doomed. Everyone in this world has already died. We watched Biggs die, like, a second time. Like, she can't save everyone, but I think she's just trying to save at least one universe, and at least one of her favorite, boys, Cloud and Zack. Plus all her friends in Beagle universe.
So this is it, huh? Time to say goodbye. For now.
Oh, she's not gonna let you die.
See ya.
So what happens if you have the Kingdom Hearts guy work on the remakes? Granted, we don't know how much influence Nomura had in the storyline, but Okay. That scene there might have actually been, like now that the fight's over, the Aeriths might have been collecting this Aerith, adding her to the unification. Or they could just been sending Cloud back, one or the other. but I definitely don't think there's a living Aerith left. Or if there is, it's not this one. I forgot she does open her eyes here, so he does see the real Aerith one more time. One of the dead Aeriths. You can give us one of the living ones? I'll have to go get another one from another world. Don't mind that guy, he didn't know as much. Okay. We got one that'll work, the ones that still work. No, we don't. Shut up. She's saying goodbye. She's broken. We don't see him put her in the lake, which is going to be very important. We know Cloud lays her in to rest into the lake.
Can't stay here forever. We'd best get moving.
Yep. Sounds good.
Aerith thinks he's being cold. Because she doesn't understand. He's in clouded vision, copium land. He doesn't realize Aerith's really gone. He's blocked that out, or Genova has. And here, he starts to... Just when he starts to remember, look what happens. This! And look at the way they do the shadowing. They do this on purpose. Every time they show Aerith, she's shown in a very positive, lit perspective. This Aerith is lurking in the shadows. And just conveniently shows up right when he starts to remember what really happened. To go, I'm right here, Cloud. Don't think those thoughts. I'm not going anywhere. Very This is Genova. Just think about the logic here and the cinematography they used here. She appeared in his shadow right when he was trying to remember what happened. This is the first time we see Genova.
I'll see you off.
This is not Aerith. This is Genova. So we do have one of the dead ones. But he sees one of the living ones from another world. No, he doesn't. Shut up. Everyone else is sad. Because the real one's dead. I think they all are at this point. Or if not, on their way to be. I think she's accepted that fate. She literally stopped Cloud from reaching her in time. Because she knew her purpose was to die.
Tifa. Come on.
Just like in the dream, I might rewind back to it just to talk about it more. In the dream, in the church, and everywhere else, she knew her purpose was to die and become unified.
On.
She looks at him with disgust. You saw it when she walked up to him holding Aerith in a weird way, just kind of holding her dead body in a kind of creepy way. She's just... There's gonna be a lot going on there. This part we already know. Glenn is Sephiroth and he's manipulating Mutai. There's not really much discussed there. It's just another one of the puppets he's controlling. But at least Rufus is starting to figure it out. He's figuring out that these guys are controlled by Sephiroth. He just hasn't quite realized that Hojo is his enemy yet for some reason. Aerith is definitely controlling these. And that's important to note too. In the OG timeline, the weapons there was no puppeteer. They just kind of ran rampage, and they had no conception of collateral damage. They attacked Junin, they attacked Midgar, attacked anything in sight. They didn't give a shit who they attacked. It's like they're just raging beasts. And I think it's important to note that they're different in Rebirth because they have a master now, and that master is OG Aerith. That's why they're actually being far better here. Like, I'll even go back to another video here. Let's see, which one is it? I think it's this one. Yeah, I had this saved for a reason. When Cloud knocked her into the life stream, she would not have survived if the weapon hadn't intervened. And not only did the weapon intervene, the weapon brought her underneath the live stream to show what was going on. This is the machinations of OG Aerith at work here. She intervened here.
All right, look.
I won't show this whole segment. I just want to talk about it briefly, just to show that the weapons are working with the White Whisperers and OG Aerith. Or unified. I need to call her unified.
Pumpkin.
See all this, women. We already know this, so that's pretty much all we wanted to show from that one. Now, what was the other one I was going to pull up? It was, this one's relevant to that discussion. New lore. Ah, Zachary!
So there I am, on the ground, bleeding out, watching everything go dark. Thinking, this is it. This is how it ends. Only, it isn't. Suddenly, the wind picks up out of nowhere. Tugs of these...
Note this. This wind happened when we defeated the OG Fates in Midgar. But look what's flying past them, both black and white ones. They're being born here. I think this is the birth of the OG Unified Aerith and Unified Sephiroth's wisps. Or were born here. And they're both doing they're both doing their thing at this point.
It's tearing my soul right out of my body.
And the white ones saved Biggs. And what's worth noting is this is Beagle Universe Biggs. We know that because when he talks to Zack repeatedly, Zack like, are you sure you're talking about my cloud? That doesn't sound like my cloud, because it's not his cloud. No, his cloud hasn't even recovered from Shinra Manor yet. Though it's kind of a shame that, like, all the effort Aerith did to save Biggs and he dies anyway. In a different universe.
Next thing I know, I'm back in the orphanage. But nobody can tell me who found me or how I got there. It's a miracle.
Sounds like what happened to me. Whole freaking army unloading on my position. I'm feeling every single pulse. then the wind starts blowing. 1 minute, I'm outnumbered, and the next, I'm alone.
None of it makes any sense.
Well, you see, we defeated the Redditors that were hashtag no
Somehow managed
changes.
to beat the odds and wake up here, alone. Why in the hell did fate pick me?
Can't think that way.
Can't not think that way. Their luck runs out, but mine doesn't. I'm the only one who gets a pass. And now that it's just me, what am I supposed to do? You know?
Yeah, I get it. Over here.
Cause yes,
Yeah, the rest.
easier job side. I wondered about
Yep.
Did you meet how long ago was
See, this is when they're talking. This is how you know it's Biggs from our universe.
my internal clock's busted.
Yeah, mine too. What's that about anyway?
Well, the clocks are busted because you both were yoinked from different universes. It's interesting. And dumped in this one. That's the remake universe, Biggs.
That's a
A little bit more further.
Big!
Just further.
I'll see your daddy.
Here.
Soon enough, Marlene. Soon enough.
Flashbang. Always switching universes. Not yet. Nope, we're not. Just floors.
It's me. The wind. That was you, wasn't it?
See, he knows.
Hello in there.
He recognizes that the white wisps are controlled by her. Maybe not this one specifically, but the live stream conscious unified Aerith. And note this too, she senses her hand is dipping in the live stream, and for a second she connected to that other Aerith, which again shows the live stream is the key to unification. It might even be at this point when she regains some of her knowledge and memories. Like, you look at her reaction. That's a reaction of someone who just learned something. That's not a oops, I just got a shock from the live stream. No, that's a I just had a revelation. Like, I know what's going on now. She's not whole by any means at this point, but I think this is the first step in her becoming self-aware of her purpose. And it's told in such a brief segment, yet it's so significant that players might miss it. But that's why I kept this part of the video, just to show that part. The rest is obviously the black materia discussion, so it doesn't really add to this. Anyways, let's go back to this again. People have combed over this very thoroughly. No, we could not. Yeah, we could not find any stamp posters or any food bags or anything. They don't want us to know what world Zack was dumped in. It could be in ours for all we know, or someone else's. But they're ambiguous about it for a reason. This is the first time they showed Zack without showing a stamp.
Just as worlds unite, so too do they part. But who's to say they can't unite again?
Oh, they will. That's Sephiroth's literal goal. The reunion of universes. Obviously, at this point, he's compelling them to probably go north. Ocho really made a mess of things, let me tell you. Mm-hmm.
Can you not raise it just a wee bit higher?
Screw you, cat. How's this? Oh shit!
Nice catch.
So, what Aerith actually do anyway?
At this point, I think we're back to Livestream Aerith, not Genovith. I think it's important distinction. I think we're actually going to see both. And that's what's going to fuck with Cloud the whole game, because he's not going to be able to tell which is real and which one can be trusted. And in the third game, I think it's going to be chaos, because he's literally going to have two Aeriths whispering at him. Livestream Unified Aerith and Genovith. I think both theories are true. If people think it's one or the other, I think it's both. I think it's very important, and you're going to be able to tell from the cinematography which one is which, as well as the mannerisms.
And with that, we are cleared for takeoff.
Finally.
But that's one part I'm not 100% sure of. Like, this could still be Genovith and Ox, and there's some theories about that discussion that explains why. But it's still, I'm still about 50-50 on whether it's going to be hybrid theory or Genovith theory from this point on. Because this one doesn't have the dark mannerism of the one we saw at the live stream that interrupted his memory.
It's not fair.
And this is the part where they make people confident it's the real one.
Aerith?
Because Red could sense her too, which means not just Genova's puppet. But then that brings into a whole lot more. Let's see, let me look at the timestamp. This is 7:02. I'm going to mark it because I'm going to have to rewind. 7:02 to 3:49 I wrote down. You see, Red also is tainted by Genova's cells. We know this from both Rebirth, but also 8.73155.
Listen.
This is very significant.
You know, I think those men in black cloaks were used by Hojo for something.
but I don't know what that has to do with Sephiroth. I think we should just concentrate on him.
Yeah, it's all just too damn confusing otherwise.
One more thing. No, sorry. It's nothing. I'm tired. I'm going to my room.
What was all that about?
Oh, you done? Then I'm going to bed too.
Is that all? What about the black materia?
There's no point. We won't figure it out.
First thing tomorrow. Ain't no getting off this train, we all remember?
Cloud.
This part.
I'm number 13. Am I going to go mad like all the others?
I don't know what Hojo did to you, but you've been alright so far, haven't you?
But
You've got to be strong, okay?
I...
Stop it, Nanaki! Stop being so afraid!
Tifa.
You're not the only one who's worried.
I don't know what's going on, but we sure ended up in a weird situation.
Sid, let us retire to our rooms.
So yeah, in both the OG and Rebirth, they make sure you remember the Hojo is number 13 after all. He has Genova cells in him too, he's just not as deteriorated as Cloud is. But it would still give him the perception to see a Genoveth. Which is why people are saying, oh yeah, it's still Genoveth because, yeah, Red sensed her, but he and Cloud are the only ones who can sense her, and he and Cloud are the only ones that are connected to Genova. So it's a plausible theory, and I think it's gonna bear relevance, because I do think the Genova theory is real. I just don't know if that particular Aerith at the airplane is Genoveth or not. I'm confident the one that stopped him from remembering was. And the one by Aerith's body wasn't, because you also had the white wisps, which were clear evidence that unified Aerith was present at the time. But the white wisps are not present on the airplane. And that's another factor on why that could still be Genoveth. So the airplane Aerith is still up in the air, but the other two Aeriths are certain. So I have another timestamp written here. I'm not sure what for. 349. I want to see what I have at this timestamp and why. Oh wait, that's 349. Let's see. 551. What's that? 551.
In the planet's embrace.
Oh, here. That's actually probably important. Yeah, this is important actually. This is obviously a different Aerith. The one that had the working white materia, and she used Cloud as basically a delivery boy.
Thank you.
And this one has accepted her death too.
Sorry.
They all have.
I'll be okay. Here. Take it.
But your mom gave that to you.
This isn't about me, though. It's about saving the world. And you.
Give him the working one, the one the OG Whispers didn't destroy.
Thank you, Cloud. For everything.
What is this?
Get Kingdom Hearted, bitch.
It's been fun.
Eric!
See, I don't even think Sephiroth knows that he's playing into Aerith's plan. Like, Aerith is being a martyr. She's letting herself die because she knows she has to. And Sephiroth is eating the bait. But she also knows she has to activate Holy before she dies. And I think Biggle Universe achieved that. Then, of course, while Aerith is transporting Cloud, Sephiroth intervenes. The Redditors are fighting. I like calling them Redditors.
The true nature of reality.
I'll let this play too, it's important.
When the boundaries of fate are breached, new worlds are born. The planet encompasses a multitude of worlds, ever unfolding.
The planet is the host of the worlds.
Some quickly perish, while others endure. Yet even the most resilient worlds are doomed to fade. Nevertheless, their loss is not to be mourned. For it is not death, but a homecoming that awaits them. And in the planet's embrace, all life is as one. All born are bound to her. Should this world be unmade, so too shall her children.
He'd tell you that he only cares about the planet. That he'd do everything in his power to protect and preserve it, but...
Note that these quotes are from Remake at the end of the game. And that's when Aerith briefly pauses and doesn't know why she pauses, and I think that's important too. I wish I had the footage of that to show it. It's like, for a second, it's like someone else is channeling their voice through her. I don't think like these words, it's like he's hearing them in the live stream. I think he's hearing them from OG Aerith. And I think OG Aerith is also parodying them of Beagle Aerith in Remake. Because at that point, she'd already been touched by the OG fates and had her mind kind of sucked up. And she was confused and didn't know what was going on. But then for a second, she gained some weird lucidity. And then went back to being confused again. And I think that's when she was kind of like... For a brief moment, she was in touch with the other Aeriths.
This isn't the way it's supposed to be.
Listen to the planet, Cloud. To her ecstatic cries, her rapture.
Screaming! It's screaming!
Oh, Cloud. I thought you might finally understand. Cloud, lend me your strength. Let us defy destiny. Together. 7 seconds till the end. Time enough for you. Perhaps. But what will you do with it? Let's see. Let go of the past, Cloud. For the future is bright. We are to bear witness to the reunion of worlds.
The reunion.
Leave me out of it.
How very stubborn of you. Perhaps you need a little push. I give you my blessing.
And we go sliders. And he's dumped back in his world. But he successfully played messenger.
Where am I?
Of course, Sephiroth gets pissed about it.
That doesn't belong here. Very poor form.
Oop.
Sephiroth's here. I can feel him, watching us.
Yeah. But forget about him for now. Just focus on yourself, okay?
But I'm fine.
At this point, I think she has a vast majority of her knowledge back, you know. She's already crossed universes. Probably reunited with the other Aeriths mentally. And she knows what she must do, which is to be a martyr. Cast holy and then die and join the other Aerith collective so they can be a hive mind Aerith like Sephiroth is. God, you're good at crawling.
Cloud!
Another important segment is here.
That way.
And how can you be so sure?
Sometimes you just know.
So, Cloud, I heard something.
Not that part. A little forward.
Yeah.
Here.
There's something.
Is that right?
Right here, from Red.
Don't think I can.
It's alright.
Well, Nanaki. She covered for him.
Is there something weird about this mist?
There is.
Do you see them in it too? The whispers?
Yeah.
I'm afraid to say it, but if the whispers control fate, then does that mean we were destined to be separated from Aerith?
Yes.
Maybe.
Why'd I have to open my mouth?
Note that only these two can see the forest whispers. None of the rest of them can, even though the rest of them have been able to see Sephiroth and Aerith's whispers before. But only these two can see them here. And that could tie to the fact that these are the only two that are touched by Genova. So they have an extra connection to Sephiroth's whispers. You know, they're able to see Sephiroth's whispers even when he's not making them visible to you. Right now they're following Sephiroth's trail into the mist. So this goes again to what I was saying about Red being able to see Genovith is still a very plausible theory, because he's also the only one besides Cloud that can see these whispers. And obviously he's the only other person with Genova cells. Anyway, let's go back to where we were before over here. It's 7-0. Oh no, VLC is acting up. Here we are.
And with that, we are cleared for takeoff.
Finally.
It's not fair.
Aerith?
I mean, if she's gonna be being Patrick Swayze in the next game, then I don't have to play with her. The broken one?
The hell?
This is sus too.
The reunion.
When did that get in his pocket? Did Sephiroth slip it in his pocket when he was being Kingdom Hearted through the live stream? Or did Jenova slip it in his pocket at the lake? Hard to say.
Hey, you coming or what?
Yeah, one sec.
You have to promise not to look up.
Don't look up.
Well, now I gotta look.
Fine, but don't let it get to you.
Don't let what get to me?
It's not real. Just an illusion. Now let's go get Sephiroth. He's hiding up north.
North?
Trust me, he is. Soldier's intuition.
Oh, yeah? Better hope you're right.
This actually does make me want to go back to another video too. Is obviously these two are starting to doubt him. Let's go back to the OG for a second. Oh, I gotta go to the right spot. No. Where was it? Down the stairs. Makes sense lore-wise. I gotta get to the right spot. Nope. Post scene.
Cloud, ex-soldier.
Here. I'm gonna play this part after all because I think it's actually kind of relevant.
Everyone, listen. I'm Cloud, ex-soldier, born in Nibelheim. I came all this way to settle things with Sephiroth.
What's wrong?
I came here of my own free will. That's what I thought anyway. But now I'm not so sure. The truth is, I'm afraid of myself. There's a part of me that I don't understand. It made me give the black materia to Sephiroth. At the altar. If you hadn't stopped me, I would have. There's someone inside me. Someone who's not really me. That's why I've thought of quitting the journey. Because I might do something terrible. But I've decided to carry on. He burned down my hometown. He killed Aerith. And now he wants to destroy the planet. Sephiroth. I can never forgive him. I have to go on. I've got a favor to ask. Will you all come with me? I want you to keep an eye on me. Make sure I don't try anything funny.
Come on, man.
I don't know how Aerith planned to stop Meteor, and I guess now we'll never know. But we still have a chance. We've got to get the black materia from Sephiroth before he can use it. Let's go.
Oh, where's the part? Save the game. This is effectively on.
Yeah. Sephiroth. He told
Here.
me to head north, beyond the snowfields.
So yeah, in the OG, he explains why he knows where Sephiroth is going because Sephiroth told him. But here, he's being super ambiguous about it. And as well, too, in the OG, they know he gave the black materia to Sephiroth. In Rebirth, Aerith covered for him, and the others didn't witness it. And he didn't tell them either. So those are two significant changes because they're They're trying to make Cloud's mental deterioration less known to the party than it was in the OG. In the OG, they were kind of like nonchalant about it, like, don't worry, Cloud, it's fine. You know, you're going crazy, but we still got your back. We'll help you out along the way. And here, instead, they're sowing distrust here, which is a significant departure. I mean, obviously, Tifa knew he was lying, or not lying, but she knew he was wrong about Nibelheim even in the OG because she was obviously there and knows it was Zack. But outside of that, they still show a significant amount of trust in the OG that they're not showing here. I think they're going to play heavily into the third game with that. The third game is going to be significantly, especially these two, doubting him more and more, all while he has Genovith whispering in his ear, steering him wrong, and dealing with his copium that he hasn't accepted Aerith's death because anytime he tries to remember it, I guarantee you Genovith is going to show up and make sure he doesn't.
Alright, fine. We trust you. Just remember, we got everything riding on this. And that's a load you'd best be ready to carry.
No heavy loads. We're close to capacity as it is.
I love Sid in OG and Rebirth.
Don't worry about me. I can handle it.
Tifa has no trust with him right now. She's pissed at him, you can tell. She might even think he's the one that killed Aerith. The way she reacted when she walked up and saw her bloodied body in his arms.
You gonna be okay getting back?
And if I said I wasn't? Don't worry. It's like a second home.
I guess. But what if something happens?
Then I'll send up smoke.
Thanks. I'll keep an eye out.
I'll put everything I've got into my prayers. I'll stop the meteor.
Now, something that bothered me about this is she should be intangible. Why are her clothes, her hair, and her necklace reacting to the plane? The wind is making her move, but she should be intangible. At least if she's a ghost. So she can't be a ghost. She could still be dead and being able to manifest herself in a physical way, kind of. Or it could just be Cloud's perception of her that makes him see what he should see. Or she can be tangible because she's Genovith, but still only visible to Cloud, and slightly perceptible to Red because he's got far less Genova corruption. But like I said, I'm back and forth on whether this one is unified Aerith or not. If it is Aerith, it's the unified one. It's not just Beagle Aerith anymore. She has her knowledge back, all of the collective knowledge.
And I'll leave the rest to you. Good luck.
Aerith, I will stop Sephiroth. Trust me.
You promise?
Promise.
There's one final piece to show. You can't say, hey, kite the enemies. No, I'm going to mute that. During the entire credits, we're seeing the memories of the entire game. The entire game from beginning to end, every memory in crystal clarity. Far enough. Is it here? I'll wait till it comes up. I might have missed the first one already. I'll go back if I did. But basically, this part is showing everything that happened in the game, right? Everything that we know happened. But then the theorists are tearing this part. This entire section is blank on purpose. Everything that we know happened shows, right? Everything that's missing here didn't happen. And we see this part again. We see this part. And now we're at the plane. Now the plane is leaving. Now she's there, right? She's there. But she might have been there at the end. But the point is, basically, every scene where Cloud is talking to Aerith is missing. Any dialogue he had with her is missing. And that's the strongest evidence that the people are having for the Genova theory. And it's tangible evidence. Because they did that very carefully. They did it on purpose. What else do I have in my notes here? Yeah, we went over a lot of videos and let's see. Showed that, we showed that. I think I had some other videos that I didn't have time to find. Like I said, I planned to make this a lot more organized. The video would have been edited. The things would have been in a more chronological order and cleaner. But I had to kind of rush this together at the last minute, so it's not as good as I wanted it to be. It's basically just an hour rant of collected rambling that basically follows 3 core points. That Remake and Rebirth are direct sequels to the OG. And the events were set in motion basically by OG Sephiroth with OG Aerith trying to stop him. And as the Sephiroth when Sephiroth died in the new universe, obviously he became part of it as well. You know, they all unified. Because that's what happens in a live stream. There's one live stream. The planet, all the worlds belong to the planet. You know, they spin off of one world and live stream. Almost like Norse mythology, where all the universes are on top of each other in the same space, off of the same world tree. Yggdrasil. Basically, the live stream is Yggdrasil. That's basically the best metaphor to describe it, actually. So, there you have it, you know. My 3 for the third game is basically they're going to continue to do a lot of fan service and keep the OG plot, you know, consistent. But they're going to add a lot of new changes. And one of the big changes is obviously going to be there's definitely going to be a Genovith. I have no doubt of that. Whether or not the dead Aerith keeps appearing too, the real one, is uncertain. I feel them both going to keep appearing. That's what's going to make it all the more chaotic for the viewer. Or the person playing the game, as well as the characters in the game. You know, you want to fuck Cloud up in the head even more? You know, pardon language? Have 2 Aeriths talking to him, and him not knowing who to trust. That'll really screw with him. That'll be way more interesting than just one or the other. That's why I'm confident that's the direction they're going with this. I have no doubt that's the direction they're going with it. The only part I'm unsure of is which one of the 2 Aeriths were at the plane. But, I say 50-50, but I do think I do kind of, it's more like 60-40. I think I do kind of lean towards Genovith because of the credits are a big part of that. And the evidence that Red can detect her is well explained by the scenes I showed and the fact that he's also Genova touched. And Genova is and also the thing that they drilled down the entirety of Rebirth, and this is important too, they drilled down the entire game, including the scene in it where the ancients are warning you about Genova, that she takes the form of your dead. That's her biggest weapon. And when did she start appearing? Immediately after Aerith died. Like, there's no coincidence in that. It's all planned. And they put all the frameworks in there for you to see it, but not see it at the same time. They want you to question it, but not be certain. They did a very good job of it. And they also wanted you to get... At the same time, they also wanted you to forget about it too. Like, they're trying to redirect you to Tifa over and over again. Tifa's the one you can't trust. You know, Sephiroth's trying to sow that doubt. And Tifa's not the one that you don't trust. It's going to be Genovith. Now, I'm going to coin that term. Mark my words. Even if this video doesn't go viral, you know, I'm going to try to make sure any stream I'm in, without spoiling them, of course, but like if they're on this theory, I'm going to, you know, drop the buzzword because it really fits. But yeah, there's my, I guess 1 hour and 39-minute rant about my theories of this. And I'm sorry the video didn't come more organized. I really wanted this to be far more organized with all the clips in a bigger order and more clips to work with. I probably would have had time to find some remake clips that I could find at least on YouTube. And maybe some more OG playthrough where I could get more additional scenes in there. But, yeah. With that, I'm just gonna leave with the closing. That, it's gonna be an interesting 3-year wait. But I'm also, that's my other theory too, that's, there's plenty of evidence of. I have no doubt that the third and final game is going to come out in 2027 because the interviews they already stated that Rebirth only took them 3 years, not 4. The first year had actually been spent on the intermission DLC and PS5 upgrade for the game. That's what they spent 1 year on that. And with that in mind, they were able to make the entirety of Rebirth in 3 years. Which means they only need 3 years to make the final game, especially since, again, they have so much tech and so much world map completed from Rebirth that they have to basically make just the new regions of like Wutai, the Northern Crater, then the Southern Continent, where I think what's the name of the town? Madriel? I don't remember. Then Rocket Town and all that. And plus a world you can fly around with the airship. You know, I think we're gonna revisit all the old areas too, and without a doubt. Anyway, I think the third game is gonna come out in time for the 30th anniversary of the OG, because the OG came out in 1997, and 2027 is that magical 30. There's no doubt they have this planned, and it's going to be a big year. But yeah, with that, I bid you farewell, and my next videos, you know, when the WoW stuff slows down again, we're going to be continuing the OG with continued theories and discussion of what's going to happen in the third game, and, you know, what's going on with the story in the OG, because like I said, I stopped the OG right where it ended in the Rebirth timeline to make this video next. Then I got delayed by a few days, but anyway, I'm ranting again. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching, or at least skimming. Take care.